Josh Jacobs has earned himself quite a bit of money and a great contract coming up. Lately this season, he's been playing like the best running back in the NFL, and that's coming from someone who underestimated him this offseason. And I thought his days as a Raider were kind of over. The Raiders declined his fifth-year option this offseason and drafted a potential replacement in Zamir White from Georgia. But then Josh Jacobs decided to become elite. So let's look at the film and see how Josh Jacobs made himself such an effective running back, because right now he really is playing at the top of his game and is going to earn himself quite a contract, either in Las Vegas, where the Raiders are going to regret not taking that fifth-year option at a discount, or elsewhere, where he will likely go somewhere where they're going to maximize his potential, and hopefully he can be the complimentary back to a team that can win a Super Bowl. I'm looking forward to going into him just because I really did underestimate him. So let's take a look at the film and see how exactly has Josh Jacobs ascended to such an elite level this season. What's up, guys? I'm Tyler Coker, and I'm your host for today's episode of Today with Tyler. I hope you enjoy. Before the season, I primarily thought of Jacobs as a Gruden-era power back, and he certainly packs that punch. He has the strength to carry linebackers on his back after a cut, showing off intense leg strength. Jacobs also has the power to punch through defenders for plus yardage, even after he runs out of room, extremely valuable to an offense as he's always adding yardage falling forward. But what makes Jacobs so deadly is how intertwined his power is with his other skills. He's an explosive back, and can punish gaps made by the offensive line. That explosion quickly turns into speed, and he can rip through holes before defenders have time to react and fill those gaps. Even when defenders do get a hand on Jacobs, he's surprisingly elusive. He can break through plenty of tackles to make yardage out of nothing, and does so even when the play completely falls apart. In space, he's extremely agile, and can make men miss, using a combination of quickness and agility to get to the edge. Perhaps my favorite part of Jacobs' game, and what's made him so deadly this year, is his vision. Jacobs' vision allows him to use his agility to find open spaces even when there's a lot of traffic. His vision also lets himself understand the leverage of his blockers and where to use his impressive strength to gain yards after contact. When the Raiders run him toward the edge, Jacobs has the vision to properly follow his blocks and move the chains on important drives and fourth downs. On occasion, Jacobs even plays a patient game behind his blockers, similar to the style of Le'Veon Bell, so he can let his vision take control, which combines well with his small area burst or his explosion. His vision especially showed out against the Seahawks, with a game-winning 80-yard rush in overtime, where he let his instincts take over and followed the leverage he saw, winning a tight game for the Raiders and ultimately breaking the game open. Josh Jacobs has really impressed me. He has the physical traits necessary to be a great back, but with his vision and executional traits lately, he's been able to really elevate himself to that elite level, and he's playing at the best he can. So Josh Jacobs is the #1 overall running back at PFF, and is overall one of the best running backs in the NFL. So what does that mean for a contract year? Well, if the Raiders want to keep him in town, they're going to have to cough up a lot of money. And I wouldn't be surprised if he wanted to stay in Vegas, because he's one of those Derek Carr era, Gruden era backs who came out and really live and breathe for the Raiders. But I wouldn't be surprised if he goes elsewhere, because the Raiders are going to have to pay a lot of money. And he's going to be a good fit anywhere he goes, because he's really a simple back that's easy to work with. And I'm looking forward to see what he does this offseason and how much of a contract he can get, considering how good his production has been this year. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.